presentation, and I was thinking of, they told you at the beginning, why do you work so much? And after they tell you, you are so lucky. So, but before that, I want to tell you a story. Actually, my name is Alexandru Dadoo in my passport, but it wasn't. Actually, my name was Alexandru Gheorghiță. I'm from Sibiu, and now I'm Alexandru Dadoo because I changed my name. So the story is that Dadoo comes from my brother. I had a twin brother who had this passion about flowers. Actually, he was, you are young, so you know Jay-Z and Beyonce. So, at one point, Jay-Z said, she saved me. So this is what my brother did, because when we were like 12, he was so in love with flowers in our city, which Sibiu is a smaller city than Bucharest. And being a guy and working with flowers was so different and so, how could I say, so new for the industry. So for me, he was the first person that from a passion, he had a job, and then still from passion, we did a business. And the market wasn't prepared for what he was thinking, and he had such a vision, and for me, he was such a dedicated, and he has such a passion. And what I can tell you, it's very important that you find this in life. Some of us, we are very lucky and we have a talent, like, I don't know, we go for music and for art. But for example, for me, this is what Darius did. He saved me. Because he was like, we have to go to Bucharest to do this. And I was like, come on, like two guys doing flowers. I was like, not so into it. And then I trust him, and we come here. And we started with flowers, actually. And his vision was like not so understood, because he wanted to change the industry. Because everybody, like, there were only 4 or 5 flowers that everybody was knew, like roses and garoafe, and he was like, no, we need to change this. So it was very difficult, but he believed in it. And it's very important that you believe in this. So at one point, somebody said, the biggest distance from a man is what you are and what you can become. But it's always in your mind, Seneca says we suffer more in imagination than in reality. So a lot of times we put barriers in our mind, like I cannot do that, it's not for me. So what I can tell you today, what I learned a lot, is that you can be whatever you want to be. For example, my life, if I can tell you something about me, it's like my dreams are jealous of my real life. I couldn't dream the life that I'm living now, like people that I know, things that we do, like you said, yes, we did weddings at Four Seasons, in Athens, in Paris, in Bulgaria, in Italy a lot. So for us, it was just a dream, like when we started and looking forward to big agency and big firms, and Romania is a small country, and we managed to do things like people were like, oh my God, at one point I had a client, I said, oh my God, you have to come to New York, what are you doing in Romania? And for me it was like, what can I do, more money? In my country, I have this role to educate the market, because like I told you when we started, I remember in 2015, I was invited to London. We went to a club, it's called Annabelle's, and they were always decorating the facade. And in Romania, like 10, 15 years ago, nobody was doing that. Now, if you see, every restaurant and every hotel does the decoration. So we kind of had a part of educating the market, because when we come and we propose some restaurants, everybody was like, no, we don't do that. They didn't invest. So we had this vision to have this plus value on the market and to educate and to start, if it's in your mind, you can do it. If you think so strong and you have this passion and you work and work and work, you can do it. So what I can tell you, it's very important that you find your path. And then another thing that it was very important for me was when I became aware of me, aware of my thoughts and where I'm going. I think everybody has to go this. You are still young, but in the future you will see that it will help you so much. And after this, it's a lot of acceptance. You know, the role of human being, it's always to evolve and always, not quite to change, but in this evolution, we have to understand that we have to leave behind the old version of us. Like in order to have the new version and to become what we dream, it's like to die the oldest version, and we have to believe in this. And it's not easy because something that is very hard is the comfort zone. Because we are always, it's easier to choose the comfort zone where it's easy, you know, all your habits. And then, for example, after you finish school, maybe you want to start a business, or either if you have a great job, you have two ways. The easy way, where you say, okay, I have this job, this salary, it's okay. But you have to provocate yourself and to look forward. What I can tell you is to do what you like. I know that maybe a lot of times you see that find a job you love, you never work a day. It could be like, okay, I heard it a lot of times, but it's true. It's very important. Not everybody, you know, find this thing that his passion of what he likes to do. Either you can be good at something, and then it's easier. Then you get in love with this, and you can do it. But then you find a passion for something, and you have to believe in it, even if maybe, I don't know, your sister or your parents don't believe in that. It's very important, this, and you always be there and there and there and struggling and struggling, and what can I tell you? It always pays off. It always pays off, and when you look after shoulder from where you start, it's amazing that you can be wherever you want. Your only, let's say, boundaries is just yourself. It's very important to let yourself. And you know, I was talking with somebody, and we were like, you know, us in Romania, we complain a lot. I see a lot of Romanians complaining, and because like I told you before, people don't accept nothing. Like, they don't accept a lot of situation and a lot of context, because this is life. We learn from life. Like I told you, and I said, I don't want to be a sad story. It's actually a good story. Like, I had a twin brother, and he died in 2015. He died like physically, but his energy and everything that he dreamed of and everything he's creating, it's still alive, because it was a great idea. And since then, our part was just to evolve and just to evolve and just to add and add and add and to be, then we change a lot, because we look at the business like a brand. Like, this is why I changed my name, because nobody was calling me Pizza, because it's like a countryside name. So Dadoo was like a designer name. It sounds good. At one point I said, okay, I will start my own tree and my own life from this, and I create this. So I went to the mayor and I said, I want to change my name. Okay, and he said, you have to prove how you want to change it. So I proved that I was like fourth and the third year on TV, and this way they said, okay, so now it's Alexandru Dadoo, and we create this brand. And this brand will be maybe after 50 years and maybe after 100 years. But I wish to be even when I will not be anymore. And like I was telling you, in Romania, so we have a different mentality that I think is changing, it's evolving, but we don't do this acceptance. So for example, if we have a context, for example, I don't know, you have an argument with somebody, or you find yourself in a position that maybe you don't like. Instead of saying, because 99% of the people, they blame others. Like, it's not my fault, it was his fault and that fault. But if you look the situation differently and you say, okay, I will accept this situation. How did I arrive in this situation? And what is the most important thing, and to say, what do I have to learn from this situation? Because every context helps you to grow. And every situation, it's meant for you to grow. There is no bad situation, because all the situation, for us, when we talk with the clients after doing an event, we said, okay, let's meet after event to have a feedback. Because the feedback for us, it's good feedback, like positive feedback. Thank you, it was amazing, it was great. And there is constructive feedback. You don't have to look at it like a bad feedback. It's a constructive feedback. Like, okay, I couldn't do better there. or I could provoke myself better. Actually, there is a book, it's called The Four Legacies. I recommend you, it's a small book, where they start with the first legacy and they talk about the power of the word. Because, you know, at the beginning, when we didn't have the fire and the arms, we had the word, you know, people were screaming, and then it's very important, the word, your word, and everything what you say, we have to pay attention because it's very important. And then they end with, do everything that you can. Like, provoke yourself and try to be the best of it. Like, I remember 2 weeks ago, I had a colleague and he was at an event, he was calling me like, Alex, I have a situation, you know, now the couple, it's a bit like upset. And what he did, it was a small thing, they misunderstood the wine, for example. I said, okay, there's not a big problem, and it was a detail for them, but now you have to do all you can. They will see it, and if you are there and you will do the best thing possible, you will see that it will change. And he was, no, you have to be here. And I said, if I will come there, you will never learn nothing, because it will be easier. And then I told him again, you have to be there and do whatever you can there. So at the end, they were like kissing and hugging, and it was a constructive feedback, and everything was okay. So it's very important how we look at things in life, and very important it's how, you know, we always look at the others. Like I told you at the beginning, first they say that you worked so much, and then they say you are so lucky. For me, there is no luck. Luck, it's when preparation meets opportunity. So we have a lot of times the opportunity to do something, and if we are prepared for that, afterwards we can say that we were lucky. But you know, everybody looks at the other luck or opportunity or other train, for example. If you know, you heard this expression that we have a train, like step on it, and we usually look on others, like he was lucky, okay, he was lucky, but I think if we step back a bit and we look on our life and project ourselves, and you know what, you have to embrace a lot of failure, for example. Like, you can try this and you fail, you can try this and you fail. And now these days, with all the social media, you heard all the story of Jeff Bezos, of Jack Ma, of Elon Musk and things like that, which are very inspiring. But we don't have to be like them. You know, a lot of things we persecute ourselves and we try to pressure ourselves, because, you know, your happiness is not my happiness. And, you know, I have a saying like, what is beautiful for you maybe could be ugly for me. So it's just a vision, you know, and it's just how you project yourself. And usually I know that we come like us, you know, I lived in Sibiu and we have a different mentality. And my father was like, you know, you have to do that and you have to do that. And we have this word that pressures a lot, you have to do, or it's must. No, you have to take it off from this. And you have to know what you want, and then also you will see that the things will align. If you start growing, you will see also the mindset that you can grow and turn it yourself. Then you see that the things will align. And it's important that you find your heel, for example, or you find your path, and you stick to that. And then you will see after, I know you're young now, and when I say 10 years, for you it's like a lot. But you will see then that this a lot, it will come easier when you will have 30 and 40. You will look and where somebody will tell you 10 years, you will say, okay, 10 years is not so much, you know? And if you will take the things easier and accept it more, I think everything will align around you. Usually, everything what is around us, it's our mirror. This is how they say that. Everything around us, it's our mirror. If you don't like your mirror, your context, then you have to change something. And it's okay to change. Like I told you, for example, even me, 2 years ago, I was talking to my therapist, and I was like, I had a big rock on my soul. And at one point, I was telling to her, you know, I would like to do something else at events. And she was like, relaxed. She said, yes, you can do that. I said, really, can I do that? Because, you know, everybody knows me from Maison DADOO, and we do events. Because I had a passion for real estate, you know. And she was, yeah, you know, you had this thing, like, you want to do this brand furniture for your brother and take it bigger and bigger and bigger, but it's okay to do that. So, like I told you, we'll see in life that it's all acceptance. We will be 20 and then 30 and then 40. And because you have to understand that Alexandru from 20 is not Alexandru from 30 and will not be Alexandru from 40. Because like I told you, the human being has to evolve. Thank you very much for the invitation.